The Atacama skeleton, a 6-inch humanoid found in the desert that baffled scientists. La Noria is an abandoned nitrate mining town in the Atacama Desert of Chile, one of the driest places on Earth. In 2003, a local man named Oscar Munoz found a small mummified skeleton wrapped in cloth, hidden near an abandoned church. The skeleton was approximately 15 centimeters, about 6 inches long. Its proportions were disturbing: an elongated cone-shaped skull, large eye sockets relative to the face, and a dramatically smaller than expected body frame. Munoz sold it to a Spanish businessman, who eventually showed it to researchers. When documentary filmmaker Sirius featured it, the internet decided it was an alien. The Atacama skeleton's unusual features were the source of the alien speculation. Normal human fetuses at the size of 15 centimeters have 12 pairs of ribs. Ada had 10. The skull was dramatically elongated in a cone shape, unlike normal human skull development at any gestational stage. The skeleton's apparent bone density and development seemed inconsistent with a fetus. The bones looked more mature than would be expected for such a small body. These features together created an appearance that experienced observers found difficult to explain immediately as a normal human variant. The first serious scientific study of Ada was published in 2013 by a team led by immunologist Gary Nolan at Stanford University. Nolan's team extracted DNA from the skeleton and confirmed it was human, not of non-human origin. The mitochondrial DNA showed Ada was female and of Chilean indigenous and European admixed ancestry consistent with the population of the Atacama region. The alien hypothesis was definitively ruled out, but the 10-rib anomaly, the elongated skull, and the advanced bone density for the specimen's size remained unexplained at that stage. In 2018, a follow-up study led by Adel Butt at the University of California, San Francisco performed whole genome sequencing of Ada and identified multiple rare mutations in genes known to be associated with bone development and growth. The mutations affected genes including COL1A1, TRP11, and several others involved in skeletal formation. These mutations, individually rare, were found together in one genome, a convergence of bone development gene variants that would be expected to produce exactly the combination of anomalies found in Ada. Premature bone maturation, rib count variation, and cranial shape anomalies. Ada was almost certainly a female fetus or premature newborn who died at or around the time of birth, likely in the mid to late 20th century based on radiocarbon dating. The advanced bone density that appeared to make her skeletal development anomalous for her size was a consequence of the genetic mutations causing premature bone maturation. The skeleton's small size was consistent with a premature birth or stillbirth. The elongated skull and rib count anomalies were consequences of the identified gene mutations. The complete biological explanation was within normal human variation, at the extreme rare end of it. The ethical dimension of the Ada case has been significant. Ada was a human being, a Chilean human being of indigenous ancestry who died shortly before or after birth. Her remains were found by a local man who sold them to a Spanish businessman, who sold them to an American documentary filmmaker, who displayed them internationally as a possible alien. Her genome was published in scientific papers. Chilean researchers and bioethicists have argued that the commercialization and display of Ada was a violation of the dignity of human remains and of indigenous community rights. The Ada case illustrates a pattern in how unusual physical specimens move through popular culture. The combination of genuinely unusual features and unknown origin creates a space where speculation fills the gap before analysis. The internet's speed in spreading content means that the alien interpretation reached millions of people before the genetic analysis was complete. By the time the human origin was confirmed, many people who had absorbed the alien narrative did not update. The correction is rarely as viral as the original claim. Ada was a child. She died in Chile, probably in the second half of the 20th century, of conditions related to rare genetic variants that affected her skeletal development. Her story is not one of alien contact or supernatural mystery. It is the story of a very small person with a difficult genetic hand who died young, was found decades later, was misidentified, displayed commercially, had her genome published, and is now in the possession of a private collector. The scientific part of her story is complete. The ethical part is not. And the mystery that surrounded her for over a decade was never anything but a human tragedy waiting to be properly understood.